Hello there, my fellow Star Wars fan. I'm your host, Dingus, and today I'll be talking about Bo-Katan returning in Mandalorian Season 2. So, I'll leave a link to the source article in the description down below, and they say, and I quote, Battlestar Galactica star and Star Wars veteran Katie Sackhoff is joining the Mandalorian Season 2. We have exclusively learned that Sackhoff will be playing a live-action version of Bo-Katan, a Mandalorian warrior she previously voiced in Dave Filoni's animated series Star Wars The Clone Wars and later Star Wars Rebels. Although both Lucasfilm and Sackhoff's reps declined to comment, we have confirmed the story with multiple sources. She filmed her role back in February before Hollywood production shut down due to the global coronavirus pandemic. This is insanely exciting news. I think Bo-Katan is a fantastic character. All the way back to her first appearance in Star Wars The Clone Wars, then she appeared in Star Wars Rebels. I thought she was one of the better parts of Star Wars Rebels, and more prominently recently in the Siege of Mandalore arc, she's just fantastic. So I'm really excited that she's coming back in Mandalorian. Now, what she's probably going to do, and her appearance as Mandalorian will probably be relatively small. What it'll be is it'll probably show how Moff Gideon got the Darksaber. The last time we saw the Darksaber, it was in Mandalorian Sand, specifically Bo-Katan's hands. So that's probably when we're going to see it. There's also been rumors of Sabine Wren being in the Mandalorian Season 2. That'll probably be the same way that we see Sabine Wren. They'll probably show, I forgot what they exactly call it in Mandalorian, but when Moff Gideon and the Empire attacked Mandalore, and they probably took the Darksaber from them at that point in time, so that's probably when we're going to see Bo-Katan and Sabine Wren. Now, there's been a popular theory for a long time that I personally agreed with, that Bo-Katan is the Armorer. Now, I don't know whether or not this confirms or denies that. You could debate both ways. It can confirm it because Bo-Katan's coming back in the show. She's going to be in Mando Season 2, so is she going to be the Armorer? Is she going to be revealed to be the Armorer in Season 2? Because she's going to be in the show. So there's one way to look about it that way. The other way, though, is that the actress who plays the Armorer is a different actress from Bo-Katan. So that could deny and deconfirm that theory. However, they never showed the face of the Armorer, so if they wanted to, they could, quote-unquote, recast and show her face later on in the show and reveal it is Bo-Katan. However, I'm not so sure anymore. I was 100% convinced in Season 1, before we got this news, that she was the Armorer. I was 100% convinced that Bo-Katan was the Armorer. However, I'm not so sure now. But either way, I think this is really exciting. And the fact that they're getting the actress that voiced her in Clone Wars and Rebels is even more exciting. I mean, as you saw when I showed you the source article, she does look a lot like Bo-Katan, so it makes sense. I think something that, it's still cool, but something that I'm kind of less accustomed to, I guess, is when they had these live-action characters of previous animated characters, and it's a different voice. Like with Darth Maul, I think that was really good how they did that. I think Ray Park's performance, physical performance with Sam Witwer's voice, that works really well. Saw Gerrera, I think it was a bit of an adjustment, but I made that adjustment. I think it works really well. What I'm curious about is Ahsoka, because Rosario Dawson is playing a live-action version of Ahsoka in Mando Season 2. Are they going to have Rosario Dawson just play the physical performance while they have Ashley Eckstein voice her? I don't think so. I don't think you get someone like Rosario Dawson to play Ahsoka and you're not going to use her voice ever. So that'll be kind of weird, I think, in the beginning to hear the voice of Rosario Dawson for Ahsoka when it's not Ashley Eckstein, because we've only heard Ashley Eckstein voice Ahsoka. So I'm happy that they're able to get the Clone Wars voice actors to play her, because it just adds that little tiny bit better connection to Clone Wars and to the animated version of the character to her first appearance. Now, I would love to see an Ahsoka and Bo-Katan reunion in Mando Season 2. That would be amazing. However, I don't think it's going to happen, because, like I said, I think the only way she appears in this season is when we have those flashbacks to whenever the Empire attacked Mandalore and took the Darksaber from the Mandalorians. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Bo-Katan has a much bigger role in Mando Season 2 than just one episode or two. I think that's really one of the only complaints that I have about Mandalorian, is the fact that they introduce all these new characters with great actors, and they're only in the show for like 1 or 2 episodes. Like Ming-Na Wen, only 1 episode. Cara Dune was there for longer than 1 episode, but for the most part, she was there for like maybe 3 episodes, I think, which is still more than others, but I still like not enough. I think that these actors that they're getting and these characters they're bringing back, you gotta put him in more episodes. And if that means making more episodes of the show, make more episodes. If that means making these episodes longer, just so it feels like we have more screen time with these characters, make these episodes longer. You know, I don't want a one episode, one-off story and once and done kind of thing with Ahsoka or Boba or Bo-Katan or any other characters they're bringing back. I want to see them for a long period of time. I want to really get attached to these characters again in live action and just see them kick ass in live action. That's all I want. And I think it'll improve the show. I think one of my, and I know this is probably going to be a opinion that not many people have, a not popular opinion with fans. I think one of the things that makes Mando not as good as it could be, in my opinion, I still love the show. It's a fantastic show. But I think it would be better if they focus less on Baby Yoda and they focus more on other characters. So I hope that Season 2 goes that route. Now, a lot of people are complaining that new characters are coming to the show that we've already seen, like Ahsoka, now Bo-Katan, and Boba Fett, that, hey, we've seen these characters already. One of the magic of The Mandalorian was that these are all new characters. And to an extent, I agree. To an extent, I can see where they're coming from. But in my opinion, I just like to see characters that I already like. You know, I already like Bo-Katan. I already like Boba Fett. And I've grown accustomed to Ahsoka. So, if there's more of them, that's awesome. Like, I really don't care if we get to see new characters come back that we've already seen that I like. If characters come back that we've already seen that maybe I'm not such a big fan of, then maybe I'm not as excited for it. But, you know, I honestly don't care that these characters are coming back. I'm really excited for it because, one, I love to see these characters in live action. Even if it's not the same voice actors, I just really enjoy seeing things in live action. I love animated stuff. I mean, Clone Wars is one of the greatest shows of all time, animated or not. But I like more when I see things in live action because I feel like it's more relatable in a sense because these are real people. When you're watching a cartoon show or a cartoon movie, in a sense, it's not really as relatable because it's a cartoon. You can't really see these people as actual people. But when these characters are in live action, it's more real, I guess, because you see them in the physical sense. You see them as real people. So I personally have no problem with it. I have no problem with these characters coming back. It's all about execution, really. If Ahsoka or Bo-Katan or Boba Fett or any other characters that might be coming back to Mandalorian are there just for fan service and really don't serve the story in any way and aren't executed properly, then it's kind of like okay, then we didn't need them if it was just for a quick fan servicey moment. But if it serves the story and it makes sense for the story and is executed properly, I have no problem with it. Like Sabine Wren or Bo-Katan coming back, I think makes sense for the story because you gotta explain where the Empire got the Darksaber from. And where did that happen? Because last time we saw the Darksaber, it was in the hands of Bo-Katan and Sabine Wren in Rebels. So now, well, how did Moff Gideon get the Darksaber? We're going to get that explanation, so it makes sense to have Bo-Katan and Sabine Wren show up because they had the Darksaber last. Boba Fett makes a lot of sense to work in the show because he's a bounty hunter. So he would be tracking down the same bounties as Mando. Mando's getting to the bounties before him, so he would be mad about that. He would want to hunt down this bounty hunter, kill him, so Boba Fett can now get these bounties. Ahsoka is the one that I'm kind of iffy about because they seem to want to throw Ahsoka into everything, which I'm not a massive Ahsoka fan. I'm just going to say that off the bat. I think there's a massive fan base for her, and that's great, and I'm happy for the people who are fans of Ahsoka. I'm really happy for them. I was never a massive Ahsoka fan. I think she got better in Rebels, and I think she was better at the end of Clone Wars here, but I'm still not a massive Ahsoka fan, so I'm not overly excited to see her in Mando. I love Rosario Dawson, so I'm really excited to see her play the role, and hopefully that'll make me like her more. So I'm not overly excited for Ahsoka, not as much as other people, but putting that aside, I'm just not really sure where Ahsoka fits into Mando, because she was with Sabine at the end, actually, of Star Wars Rebels, so, you know, actually that could be where it is, where we get that tie-in. Maybe we see Sabine Wren and Ahsoka in present day, that's how they show up, and Bo-Katan only shows up in the flashbacks. Never mind, that's probably what happened. So, you know, for these three characters coming back, it kind of does make sense, you know? It's not just fan service, it's not just, oh look, you love these characters from the shows, let's put them into this show so we can get more people in there just to, you know, hit your fan base side in your mind. It doesn't feel like that at all, actually. These characters make a lot of sense to appear in this show surrounding the story of the show, the Darksaber, Boba Fett being a bounty hunter, and also Ahsoka meeting with Sabine Wren. So, to a sense, these characters make sense. So I am not a part of the people that say, they don't like this because they want all original characters in Mando Season 2. I mean, Mando takes place very much during the time of Star Wars. You know, it's not so far removed. Mando's only 7 years after Return of the Jedi, 5 or 7 years after Return of the Jedi. That is, I think that's close enough to have familiar characters appear. When there's, you know, other movies and other media and other forms of Star Wars content, like maybe a Old Republic or New Republic, obviously then I don't want everyone to appear in it. Or if it's like a Rian Johnson trilogy where it's totally separated from the main Star Wars story, then yeah, you know, I don't really want other characters to appear in that show that we've seen already. You know, but when it's something like Mando that is very close to the main Star Wars story, and it's still very much connected because it's in the world of bounty hunters, right? And we've seen bounty hunters in Star Wars before. It's in the world where there's still a little bit of the Empire, so, you know, it's still very much connected to Star Wars. I have no problem with these characters returning. I don't. I understand why some people would have a problem with it, but I personally don't. I think this news is really exciting. I got really excited when I heard this. I think Bo-Katan is starting to become one of the better Star Wars characters, so this might just make her even higher on that list. I can't wait for it. But the question is, guys, what do you think? Are you excited for Bo-Katan to come back in Mando Season 2 or not? And also, what do you think her story is going to be? Do you think it's just going to be a once-and-done appearance, a flashback to show how the Empire got the Darksaber? Or no, do you think she's going to be in it more? Do you think Bo-Katan is the Armorer? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my Star Wars videos every other day at 6 p.m. Eastern. I have some amazing videos coming at you this week and next week. Like, I'm not even saying that just because they're my videos. Like, they are really exciting. Couple theories, couple things I want to talk about. I'm really excited to cover them. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any of those. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time.